This is a short video on how to repair a unwound spring on the spring flower sculpture. Now to do this, the tools we will need are number one, a medium-sized Phillips screwdriver, either a pair of needle nose pliers or needle nose vice grips. I have the vice grips, and a pair of safety glasses. The spring is very powerful. We always want to wear the safety glasses just in case something goes wrong. So we'll get started. So number one, we want to make sure the spring has no tension on it. So in order to do that, we will hold the winding wheel and remove the belt from it. Never let go of the winding wheel. Always let go slowly and make sure it doesn't unwind. If it starts to unwind, just let it unwind in a controlled fashion, keeping a hand on the wheel until there is no tension on the spring. So now we have that done. Remove the cap from the winding wheel. And with your Phillips screwdriver, well, let's wait on that for a minute. There's a nut inside here. It usually is just finger tight. Probably don't need any tools to loosen it. So we'll just take that nut off. And this is a brand new spring flower, so it doesn't have a problem with it. But the process is the same. So once we have that nut off, you'll see if you pull up on this, do not pull it out, but just pull it out, you see it moves. Now our goal is to remove both wooden reels from this and untangle the spring. So once we start, you always keep a hand on number one, the winding wheel part of this, and number two, the small reel to wind it onto. So we'll start with getting this out a little bit, and this is hard to grip, so this is where the pliers come in handy. So we'll tighten that up, and we're going to grab the spring enough just to get it started. We do not want to pull it all the way out because it'll take off if we do. Now we take them out both. Now here we have the winding wheel and the spring. Now your problem spring flower is probably all twisted up like this. So our goal is to get it untwisted and the entire spring wound on the small reel. So after we do that, get it all, see we've had some twists here. So we'll untwist it, never let go of anything. And we've got it straight here. And put the, once all the spring is on the small reel, slide it back, get it started back onto the shaft, and push him in a little bit so he can't get away. Get the big wheel onto the shaft, push him in. And you gotta make sure that that spring goes down into the now we actually do have a tangle, and make sure that you do not let go of this because it can be a problem if you do. Once again, we'll take it out. Now this time I really do have something to fix. So we get this spring back on the small wheel. If you, first time you do this, if you have someone to help you, not a bad idea to have them hold one end of this. All right, we got this back on, correct position. So this is going to wind like this. So we want to make sure it's flat here like that. So we'll stick the wheels on again, little wheel. Big one. Get everybody down in there like they should. All right. Now, just keep holding everything firm. It should not unwind when the spring is on this wheel. So we'll now put the nut back on this one. Don't need a wrench or anything to tighten it down, just till it's down to the bottom and in there. Then put the cap on, not just so it makes contact, doesn't have to be tight. So now let's give it a little test. Now this, I have this laying on the floor, yours is probably on a wall, that makes no difference, the concept is the same. So to test it, we'll hold it up in the vertical position and we'll do a couple winds on it. Now we want to make sure that it catches, in this case it didn't. And the reason is because I didn't put the belt back on. So number one here, put the belt back on. There we go. Now, testing time again. A couple turns, just like you normally would wind the sculpture. Say we put 3 turns on it. Well, now we always make sure that it catches before we let go, and it has. So we'll give this a little turn in a counterclockwise fashion, and if everything works, you're all good to go, and it looks like it is. So now you've just fixed the spring on your spring flower. If you have any questions, always email us at info@carveblakeart.com or give a call, 231-409-5961. Email is always faster. Thank you. Bye-bye.